morning, everybody. We're back. It's been a while since we've done a single sessions. We're on our way down south to test the Machado Cado and the Groove. Both are Machado boards, and both are boards that I've been, riding pretty consistently for the last year. As always, just kind of comparing and contrasting the two boards in the same conditions. So today, just what we got, like 2 to 3 foot surf. It's kind of, we're getting into fall, so we got that light, crisp offshore morning. Machado Cado, that's the board that I ride typically when it's in that 1 to 3 foot range, and just can rely on it to get down the line and carry speed through flat sections. And then the Groove, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, is a board that's pretty versatile in terms of like the wave size and the range that you're riding it in. It holds in big surf, but it's also really good in the small stuff too. And kind of two trusty steeds that I'm going to. The Groove, I'm riding as a quad. The Machado Cado, I'm going to be riding as a 2+1. So two very different surfboards in terms of like the tail. They both have kind of like a little baby squash on them. The Machado Cado is almost a rounded thumb, but it's still got that little squared off, and then the Groove has a more traditional squash tail on it. Both have a little bit of the V through the back of the tail as well. And then the Groove that I'm riding is 5'6". The Machado Cado I'm riding is 5'2". I believe the Groove that I'm on is 27 to 28 liters. I think it's right 27 and a half. And then the Machado Cado is like 26.1. So different volume, almost 2 liters difference in volume. The reason I do that is because the Machado Cado is quite a bit of a wider surfboard, and then the Groove is a little more pulled in with that wide point forward. So surface area and just in different places on the board, as well as the length. But at the end of the day, still both really good small wave boards. I would say the Machado Cado has way more of a loose feeling, just with it being the 2+1, and then the Groove kind of has that more tight feeling when you're pushing through it through turns, with a little release off the tail when you get the board all the way around, because it is a quad. So two different surfboards, both Machado boards, both Old Faithfuls, very reliable boards in these kinds of conditions. Yeah, we're just heading down south. We're gonna go try them out. There's kind of some reformed wedges going down, and it's really fun looking. About 2 to 3 feet. First board we're gonna go with. I rode this board yesterday too, so I'm just gonna keep rolling on it. This is the Groove. So wide point forward, quad setup, really fun board that carries a ton of speed. 5'6", 27.7 liters. This is definitely a board that I would be riding on a day like this anyways. And then we'll come in after and we'll grab the Machado Cado.
crazy, I know.
Kind of came out of nowhere. See, there's a little one. We were pleasantly surprised by the waves. The sandbars were kind of like chunked up, and there's a few waves capping on the outside, which actually mixed up the inside and made it really wedgy on the higher tide. First board I took out was the Groove, and had a lot of fun on it. With the waves being the size they were, and the Groove just having like a little more width and length versus the Machado Cado, I felt like the Groove had a harder time fitting in a really tight small pocket. Like I said, the waves were 2 to 3 feet, extremely wedgy, and had some punch to them. There's actually a couple like mini tubes if you could be on the right one this morning. So what I really enjoyed about the Groove in today's conditions was how nicely it carried speed, and then the drive I had off the tail from the quad. The hard part about the Groove in waves that are that small and that quick is it's just a little bit beefier of a board, so I almost feel like it needs a bigger wave. Like that board, if it was the same style of wave, if those waves were 4, 6, 8 feet almost, would be really good, because it has such good paddle power through the middle of the board. That wide point's really far forward, and then the drive is a quad. So I got some really fun waves on it. Definitely not a bad board by any means out there. So I came in, the tide was dropping out a little bit. If you guys are watching some of the clips right now, you might be seeing like it got a little bit smaller, it got further out. There are more waves kind of capping out the back versus breaking just like right on the shore. So I grabbed the Machado Cado. Obviously, big difference is that board's 5'2". It's actually less liters, but it's way wider of a board. So first couple waves on that, the transition over from riding a quad that's kind of more tight into a 2+1, I think I slid out on my first few waves because I was used to pushing on the Groove a little harder. Once I got that board kind of back under my feet, felt normal. Super lively, has way more slip and slide through the tail, and it just gives you that traditional twin fin feel. It's way easier for me in a tight pockety wave that's small to get that Machado Cado going. So, and I think that just has to do with the twin fin and it being a shorter board. It's very skatey. compared to the Machado, compared to the Groove. So yeah, Machado Cado, really fun. I think I had one left that I tagged a couple times. It just felt nice, and like the fins were drifting, and then it re-engaged really nicely. It carried extremely well through flat sections. So, you know, both were good boards today. I had fun on both of them, and the waves were really fun. But overall, on a day like this where it was really tight, small, pockety waves, that Machado Cado is going to be able to kind of perform a little quicker, fit into the pocket a little better. But if it was the same style wave, just, you know, 4 to 6 feet, a little bit bigger, or just had more punch to it, I'd be jumping on that Groove, because the Groove has a little more control than the Machado Cado does, just with the fin systems, how they are, quad versus 2+1. So obviously it's a personal preference always, and then it's going to be dictated by the waves as well. But just, you know, had a lot of fun on both boards, and end of the day, Rob Machado's designed some pretty awesome surfboards to go out and just make sure you're having fun. Both kind of got that round nose, wide point, a lot of surface area on both of them. Great day today. Pleasantly surprised. Got some super fun waves with the friends, and hope you guys enjoy.